What's up everybody? We've got more GTR Challenge coverage from years gone past to celebrate this year's 10th anniversary of the GTR Challenge at Korann Airport. And as you know, we're now going to have all of the content for you guys free of charge on our YouTube channel to watch. No more DVDs. Now, 2016 saw the event grow massively. 27 GTRs in total. We've finally got our 8-second time slips legit up onto the time board. We saw an R35 head into the top end of the mix, and we had every sub record broken. The event had now found its full potential. Now, don't forget to subscribe, share the videos, as the more that we get, the bigger and better we can make this year's coverage. Enjoy. The Motive DVD GTR Challenge started in 2009, and every year the event gets bigger and faster. This year was no exception, with 27 of the country's quickest street GTRs turning up to try and take the title of Australia's quickest true street GTR. The question wasn't so much who would run an 8, but rather how many cars would run an 8. And over a third of the field were running in the sub-10s by the end of the weekend.
Everyone can get together in one place on an even playing surface, cars with no cages, autos, no auto, who cares, just bring it.
Coming here, I think 6 times now, it's just getting bigger and bigger, and the cars are just getting faster and faster.
I've seen the first GTR battle. I've always wanted to bring a car down, just a proper street car, and
best GTRs in Australia, basically. Everyone wants to be the fastest at Korann.
For this year's event, Motorsport Mechanical came on board as the category sponsor. We visited their workshop before the event to check out some of the big GTRs they had lined up for the weekend.
My red GTR's going, MSM GTR. That's currently on the hub dyno, makes 1210 horsepower, 903 kilowatt. The blue R34 GTR, we raced it a couple of weeks back, went 10.8 at 148. So we're definitely hoping to go high 9, low 10 at Korann.
With so many GTRs at Korann this year, it was going to be hard to stand out. But they were all awesome, and plenty stood out for different reasons. Let's take a look.
We just upgraded a turbo, that's all we've done. Honestly, that's all we've done. A bit more power. So the upgraded turbo, the Albans. And we dropped a couple of PSI in the tyres. So.
Just a couple?
Just a couple, yeah. Well, went with the Albans because Albans looked after us. They did a good job, not that Hollinger didn't, just that I sold that setup pretty quick straight after 2014 GTR battle to fund my time attack car. So we went with the Albans, and I just thought that I'd like to have 2 Albans in case one breaks. I can swap it out. It's more as a spare for the race car. Albans, baby, Albans. Let's see if that catches on. Well, last year, just a lot of bad luck. Just trying to push everything too soon. Did like 4 all-nighters, and we just could not get there in time. So a good mate of mine, as we all know, Steve Carr, lent me his car, and I took care of his car in one run, and that's why I went to 0.
Unfortunately, Dennis would only get one run this year as well, with some small issues causing him to retire. I'm not sure whether we were more devastated or him.
I I've seen the first GTR battle like back in the day, like it would have been four years ago, I'm pretty sure. I've always wanted to bring a car down, just a proper street car, and we didn't make it last year because we just had to make sure the car was right and stuff. But we finally made it this year. So it's a 3.2 litre stroker. It's got a Pro mod on it, like the 88mm. It's a T400. And the power levels, because we were spinning on the dyno, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's probably around the 600-700 horsepower mark at the moment. So it was unbelievable. We were down there every day working on the car flat out. Alex was working till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Everyone was on the car, so we finally got it done. But yeah, it was a big job, like a big, you know, you don't get things done like that easy. We drove it to the track on Wednesday and drove it home. Probably had half an hour in the car. That's the only time I've driven it. Other than that, yeah, the car's probably been going, what, 2 weeks? I just really want to go out there and test the car. Like, it's not turned up at the moment, so I just want to go out and see what it does and learn the car a bit more and then see what happens. It might turn it up.
Third gear? Holy
With limited pre-event testing, Rod was our second Cootamundra curse victim, only getting in the one run. Sam also suffered from the Cootamundra curse, although not as badly, with the four-wheel drive problems stopping him from getting a good run. Sam's R34 GTR is a great street car setup with a Precision 6466 turbo, Haltech ECU and tuned by Precision Automotive Racing to make 510 kilowatts.
An R34 GTR V-spec. I built it purposely for this event and for the street, mostly a street car. I take my kids in it, my wife, so we go cruising every weekend. We've built the engine at Motorsport Mechanical, top to bottom, 2.6. It's got a 6870 Precision turbo, Haltech ECU, a race pack, all the kit and caboodle, as they say. Enjoy it on the street. That's what it's for. So, you know, whatever times I get, you know, I'll be happy with, but main things for the street. I just seen that it was going off tap and there was more and more posts about it and it was getting further and further out, and I just figured I gotta have my GTR there, so it had to be done, and that's when it went single turbo and big everything. Standard gearbox, it's got Haltech ECU built complete from top to bottom from Matux Racing, still 2.6 litre, and it's got a Precision 6466 on it, so it goes alright. It's got 28 pound of boost in it, so it makes just over 500 kilowatts. So I built it for like the street, so that way if I pull up to someone and you know, like they want to give it a hit, I'll come on boost pretty much straight away. So I didn't want anything too laggy or, you know, too big, so that's why I stayed with a smaller turbo, but it still hauls ass. So.
love GTRs. I just heard it, I see them, always wanted one. Yeah, actually come to the event like last year was unbelievable. I go, next year I'm going to be ready, I've got to come. I did a 2630, T51R Garrett, pretty much everything Nido, everything I wanted.
The guys from Team Korann Racing bought out their new toy, Hannibal. They also bought out, quite simply, the best support vehicle ever. Still a 2.6 litre, Hannibal makes around 1,000 horsepower and channels it through a PPG 5-speed dog box. Caged up and on drag radials, it's one to watch in the future once it's sorted. The guys from Team Korann Racing had a gearbox issue on the Friday practice day, drove back to Sydney to repair it, and were back out on Saturday only to have some dramas again.
Holy that thing sounds nasty.
The 10.9 on a big back-off shows the car certainly has potential.
I've been to 2 events, seen them all on DVD, love it. Every year just keeps getting better and better, cars keep getting faster and faster. I've known Ann for about 15 years now maybe. He's the best at what he does, he knows his RBs and he proves it every time he hits the track. Alright, so we're running a Haltech plug-in. Now we've got a 3-litre bottom end in it. Everything you could think of has been done to the head. Turbo 76-75, that's basically it. When I got a proper pass in, went 9.3 at 150 mile an hour on 34 pounds. I've no secret to it. It's all in the shifting, Glenn. At the moment, it's sitting on about 900 horsepower on 36 pounds. So we're looking at turning it up hopefully tonight. As soon as this interview is done.
Oh, I've heard it's just awesome, mad event, best one in Australia. So thought I'd come here, have a bit of fun. I've had it for just under 5 years now. It's a fully built engine in it. It's got a stroker kit, 2.7 Jun. Still running low mount turbos, dash 5s. It's got a dog box in it, big fuel setup, surge tank, all that. It's making roughly around 400 kilowatts at all 4 wheels. It's done a 10.7 at the drags at 133 miles an hour. Hopefully come here and do a 10 as well, I'll be happy with that. I can daily drive it. It's not my daily driver, but it does get driven wherever. Like I drove it here, I'll thrash it all weekend, I'll drive it home.
Once again, we brought along our project budget supercar R32 GTR with the goal of finally getting into the 10s at the GTR Challenge. We upgraded injectors to 1650cc Bosch items thanks to sticks from Quick Bits with the intention of turning up the power. But we're limited by valve float with the factory springs, so we kept it to around 470 kilowatts. We also made the switch to Hoosier drag radials, which we were testing for another one of our Mythbuster videos on YouTube. We took the car out in some private practice and ran a 10.5 on the first pass. Come competition day at Cootamundra, we were so busy we only did one pass, but it was all we needed. Ricardo is a veteran of Cootamundra and is always out for some fun. His R33 GTR, tuned by Just Engine Management, makes 800 horsepower thanks to a Garrett GTX 42R turbo and a Haltech ECU. It's channeled through a PPG 5-speed dog box. It's a true street car driven on street tyres. Nick's R32 GTR stood out more than most with the aftermarket body kit and drag wing. It's also got a cool setup too, with an HKS T51R SPL turbo on 38 PSI, making nearly 900 wheel horsepower. It uses an R34 Jetrag 6-speed gearbox, but with the factory R32 4.1 diff gears, making it super short but much more responsive to drive. Check it out. Jerry's tidy R33 GTR caused a stir when a video of it popped up on the net, making 1,000 horsepower at the rear hubs only a couple of nights before the event. When it turned up and we looked under the hood, we could see why. With a 2.8 litre stroker, precision 76mm turbo and a Haltech ECU. It has an OS Geekin OS88 6-speed sequential transmission and runs on drag radials, so it has the gear to run some numbers once it's fully sorted. Hamza is another veteran of Cootamundra, but this year his R33 made way for his new ride, an R34 GTR. The build came down to the wire. 2 weeks out, the engine bay was empty, and it turned key, got running and tuned in the days leading up to the GTR Challenge. This one sports an HKS 2.8 litre stroker, Garrett GTX 42R and a Haltech ECU tuned by Just Engine Management to make over 850 wheel horsepower. It uses an OS 88 6-speed sequential gearbox. Jump on board for a ride. Alex's R32 GTR was another first-timer, and looking at the spec sheets seemed pretty normal at first glance. But the impressive part is that the car still uses a stock bottom end and stock gearbox, making the times even more impressive. Head gasket, studs, springs and cams are all that is done to the engine, and a precision 6466 on 20 psi makes 480 kilowatts. Proving its reliability, it made 6 passes on the day, pretty much all in the low 10s. Mushin Ali returned this year with his R33 GTR from Just Engine Management. The engine combo of a Forge 26 with a Precision 6466 turbo and Haltech ECU with nearly 800 wheel horsepower remained the same. But the stock gearbox is now gone, replaced by an OS Geekin OS 88 sequential transmission.
I've been to 3 Korann events. I've always wanted to come to Korann. I've watched the first few on DVD. It was amazing. You've seen the best GTRs in Australia basically, and I've always wanted to be a part of it. So I built the car, and this is the 3rd year I've been here. The first event I went to, I unfortunately broke my gearbox in practice. The second year I came runner-up to Hamzi. Also broke the gearbox again. The standard gearbox, the best time I ran with a standard gearbox was a 9.2. The reason why I kept that standard gearbox was to see how far it actually lasts. Until I actually started pushing more than 600 kilowatt, that's when I started having issues with the standard gearbox. And Korann, the best I ran was 10.0. Hopefully get into the 9s this year. The biggest change I've did since last year's Korann was my PBG gearbox. And we've upped the boost a little bit, so we've got, instead of 580 kilowatts, we've got 628 kilowatts, something like that.
Well, I think I've lost count how many Cootamundras we've been to. It would be at least 3 or 4. Why do we keep coming back? Well, we have a great time. It's good enjoyment, good place to test out our cars. Testimony to our work, we focus on reliability. To be able to, like I said, drive it there, race it. We do data logging there, it's a street surface. We always find that once we've set the cars up to do, the best time at Cooter, then once we get back home and we drive them on the road, we're putting the power to the ground and the cars are like seriously quick to drive. As a street car, I'll take the family out on cruises, sometimes on weekends if there's, some sort of cruise events happening, charity cruises, whatnot. Put the 2 baby seats in the back, put the little ones in the back, missus in the front, and yeah, we basically go for a drive all day. The car's set up full flex as well, so if I exceed the limit of range on E85, no problem, no stress, put some 98 in it, I can keep driving the car. Well, it's the same engine as last Cootamundra, so it's been going for 1.5 years now. Brand new N1 block, we put a Tomei 2.8 litre stroker in there, porting in-house, cams, gears, springs, valves, ported, gasket, bolts, pistons, rods, crank, all pump, sump. Brand new block, the whole works. The turbo, it's a Precision 76mm, making over 1,000 horsepower. It's been to multiple events. This will be the 2nd Cooter for it. And yeah, long live the GTR. Really excited about is we've finally got our hands on a PPG sequential 6-speed gearbox. Time-wise, I'm hoping if I can crack a 9 at 150 mile, I'll be happy with that. So yeah, that was a pretty good run. Heaps of wheel spin off the mark, so we just rolled off the throttle, cruised the whole of 1st gear, put in 2nd spun, put it in 3rd, it hooked up after 3rd. 3rd, 4th, 5th, was clean after that. So the e-boost peak boost recoil showed 38 pound, peak revs showed 9,500. So now we'll plug in the Haltech, pull out the data log, and see what happened the whole run.
Hello mate.
How you going?
Have they told you what you run yet?
I have no idea.
Have you ever run a 9 you here yet?
I haven't run a 9.
You have now mate.
What did I do?
Have a look.
Oh wow. 9.9, 154. Yes.
Well done, mate.
Thanks very much.
Glenn's R32 Monster GTR is a crowd favourite, as it sounds awesome and is so entertaining to watch. With a Precision 76-75 strapped to a power-tune-built 2.8 litre, it makes over 900 wheel horsepower tuned through a Haltech ECU. Last year, Glenn's car set the H-pattern record for the GTR Challenge with a 9.592 at 154 miles per hour. This year though, he returned with a new PPG 6-speed sequential transmission. It didn't all go to plan though, with the transfer case letting go before Glenn had the chance to get the car fully dialed in. But still impressive to run into the 9 so easily. Daniel Desano was another returning competitor looking to go even quicker. Last year he ran a 10.2 and this year had his sights firmly set on running into the 9s, with a little more power up his sleeve. The 2.8 litre engine with precision 7685 makes over 1,000 wheel horsepower. Drag radials and a PPG 5-speed put the power to the ground.
Working at home on cars, we're always running out of room, we're always building cars till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, neighbours always complaining. So all the boys came along, they all said to me, do it, just do it. And I was always worried, what happens and what happens. But we obviously did it. We came from where we used to be, where we started, to where we are right now. I was really after Newland Nationals, after our red GTR, went 9.3 at Newland Nationals at Korann Airport. To be honest with you, I think I shocked myself. So as I came around, everyone was clapping and I knew it was actually true. The car did go fast with not even a lot of power like all the other GTRs. Just to keep opening doors and I want to go faster and faster now. Customer drops off a car, we build an engine in-house, we wire up a car in-house, we get the car running in-house. My fabricator, Mobile Custom Fabrication, comes in, does all the fab work in-house, we tune the car in-house, and we even race the car for the customer to make sure that he's happy with the result. And we go from there. RBs, SRs, V8s, 6 cylinders, 4 cylinders, we work on everything. We don't just specialise in one car, we do anything and everything. If we're going to come this year, we might as well put on a good show for everyone. My red GTR's going, MSM GTR. The car's got a Tomei 2.8, N1 block, precision 7675, controlled by a Haltech, sequential S88 on the hub dyno, makes 1210 horsepower. The blue R34 GTR, we raced it a couple of weeks back, went 10.8 at 148. So we're definitely hoping to go high 9, low 10 at Kuta. That car's got 2.6 in it. It's got one of our engines in it, cams. It's got precision 6870, 6-boost manifold, Haltech ECU. It's on E85 on one of our custom fuel systems. Followed by Dino's R33 GTR, a Nissan Silvia S15, which is my younger brother's car. That's got a RB25 built engine. That's got 6-boost manifold, GT35R. that's got E85, and then followed by I got my customer's Chrysler 300C. It's a 7.2 litre with a GTX 45 and a turbo 400. I'd love to grudge match everyone. Like, we're all there to race everyone. After the afternoon, we're all hugging each other and having a laugh with each other in the car park. But definitely would be Anthony Matuk, because he G's it up more than anyone. It's unreal. Like, it's gonna be a weekend we're not gonna forget.
I don't know where to start, eh? I can't speak. I can't say in front of him, man. I think taking them all there is going to be fun, man, but we're all pumped, ready to go, eh? It had the 3026 before, which was at 658 kilowatt or 4. Now it's got a 2.8 with a sequential. It's at 725 kilowatt at the moment.
We chose the 35 platform mainly because as a shop, we want to try and get into that platform, and that's what we want to do day to day. So the only way to become an expert in that is by actually running the R35 and pushing it to its limits and then breaking things and keep going. So it's making 1150 horsepower at the tyres now on our dyno, chassis dyno. That's nothing compared to what the guys in the States are claiming to run, and the mile an hour that they're running versus what we are. So we feel like, yeah, we've pushed it here in Australia, which we have, but compared to the States, we haven't. So we'll keep pushing it up. And I think that's better for us as a business versus into the 32s and the RBs, because they've been around for 20 years. So I think that's going to be the next lot of cars that comes through. I think next year, Cootamundra, there'll be a lot more R35s, fast R35s. And by that stage, we'll hopefully be the fastest of that platform, because we've already been there, done that. So in general, the car drives like factory. And I tell everyone that with ease, because it's true. You can drive it around without telling someone that it makes the power that it does, or even if you do tell them what it makes, you drive it around, they have this misconception of what a car should do when it makes that power and if it is that fast. So it's not till you do a few little blocks of a suburb before they get nice and relaxed, and then you give them a couple of wide open squirts and a couple of gears, and they just freak out. That's what I like about it. I mean, it's very easy to make a car go fast to a certain degree, but having it drivable and make it like factory, idle, and cruise. And I mean, we drove 4 hours to here this morning and it used 3/4 of the tank of fuel, and we've just done all our testing for launch control on this surface, and we still haven't put fuel in the thing. So we've done about 12,000 Ks, which is fairly decent, and it does get a hard time every time it gets driven, and that's mainly because we're testing this thing. It runs 42 pounds of boost all the time on the 85. We took it out about 7 to 8 weeks ago at Western Sydney International Dragway, and just to test launch control and whatnot. The idea wasn't to actually do a full pass, just to get the 60s right, because we know if we get the 60 down to a 1.4 or even a high 1.3, which is possible with these cars, it'll go an 8.8, 8.9 with the way it is. And that's no lightweight, nothing, like it's factory. Here we're going, well, I hope we run a mid-9 because it's not so busy here. There's a little bit more time on the launch control, even though the tarmac here isn't as good. The setup is better. So I think we'll go better in the 60 than what we did at the strip. So I think the time should be very similar, if not maybe a tad better. Mile an hour should be the same. So.
What's your PB at the track?
We're Sid.
Yeah.
We've run a 9.6 at 156, one run.
Oh, congratulations on your new PB, mate, 9.5.
Where's the street car? Aircon on.
Each year, the competition for GTR supremacy at Cootamundra gets fiercer and fiercer. 3 workshops have emerged as the dominant GTR tuners in the hunt for the #1 GTR spot. C&V Performance with John's RH7 GTR, currently Australia's quickest true street GTR, running a 7.9 at the track and still #1 at Cootamundra with a 9.126 at 166 miles per hour. Matux Racing, who have 2 GTRs in the top 5 and have brought Nick's R32 back this year to contend for the top spot, as well as another customer's car, Shannon's R32 GTR, known as Street King. And Croydon Racing Developments, with Robert Marjan's Jun 2, the original record setter at Cootamundra. 4 R32 GTRs, all auto and all capable of running in the 8s. The big question now wasn't whether we would see our first 8-second pass under the current rules at Cootamundra, but rather how many we would see. This is how the current outright GTR leaderboard looked prior to this year's event. No doubt, it's in for a big shake-up.
I think Cootamundra is a spectacle, and I think people love it because it's something that people can come to and have fun, and they can talk smack with each other. We're all friends, everybody knows one another, and I think it's great because it's an even playing surface. Everyone has fun doing it.
As you know, the first event I came to was in 2009. It was just amazing, you know, like just being part of a GTR challenge. Coming here, I think 6 times now. Okay, we missed a few years. It's just getting bigger and bigger, and the cars are just getting faster and faster.
Massive, maybe like 200%, if not more. Everyone just wants to go to Cootamundra. It's just like a big event, it's huge.
The level of cars have just gone through the roof. Everyone's aiming for that like 8-second pass. The workshops are throwing everything at it.
Whatever I do, I gotta be the best, I'm not interested. Whatever it takes, time, effort, money, whatever it is. If I want to be #1, I will not stop until I'm #1.
I think it can become a showcase to everybody, to everyone that come here and bring what they've got. They can talk it up, they show dyno figures, Anthony Matuk.
I want to race everyone, because everyone talks it up. Not many people can back it up.
The car went at Melbourne Jambo, it went 791 at 177, and it went 140 to the 60. My goal is, I don't want to own a car that I can't drive on the street. My car's registered. Sure, it's got a roll cage and whatever in it. The way I see it, I can get in my car and I can drive it anywhere. If I choose to, that's my choice, but I am going to do that now with the radial, with the E85 fuel.
Wheels, I'll never forget where I came from. I love wheels, but for a street car, nothing will beat a GTR on the street.
That car's gone 850 at 161, and mate, that car's got everything in it. That ticks all the boxes for Koottamundra, and Hodgson, you can't fault it. It's got a glove box, it's got full interior, stereo, everything. You name it, that car's got it.
Drives like a normal car on the street. You put your foot down, you're on boost instantly. It makes way over 1,000 horsepower with a small turbo, big converter. It has nitrous if we need it, just in case for plan B. But I don't think it's going to be needing nitrous at all, but it's there.
Another auto car, which is Nick's car. As we all know, Godzilla, the black car from Melbourne, he's gone 820 at 171.
Yeah, 171.
Yes, 171. That was a twin to the black car initially. You know, didn't catch him, but still, yeah, it's a quick car. Nick loves that car. That's going as well in the auto.
So last year we were here, and the car was a little bit unstable going like from that mid-track to the end. So what we had to do is change the suspension just to get the car to stabilise a little bit. We did some testing and it's been good. We also changed the ECU. We've got an M150 in it now, and also the 187 dash. We've done heaps of testing this year. We've stopped going to the track probably about 2-3 months ago, and all our testing's been on from the street, just to make sure that the car's doing what it needs to do when we come here, because the last thing you want is a situation when you come here and you can't grip. You know, like at the track it's completely different. For us anyway, that's how we've done it. My overall objective this weekend is to get the best time again. So no matter how far into the 8s it needs to be, that's the aim. So whether it's 8.9, 8.8 or even lower, we're going to go all out and try and get that time.
Number 2, I think there's only 3 big contenders that'll be with that car.
Yeah, there'll be Apostle R87, June, and the Street King. So
you can just call me the Roadrunner. Everyone's trying to catch me.
That goes for you, Apostle. Whatever it takes. You're dead.
Once the track dried up after overnight rain, John was the first one to have a crack. John's car had an electrical issue that caused the car to shut off mid-track, but it still ran a 9.77. The lowly 98 miles per hour, proof that the car was clearly on a mission.
The Matic showed that we're on the pedal for 5.7 seconds. The car switched off. So, you know,
It had a lot more in it.
you know, you don't have to be stupid to work out the math.
Yeah,
you know, the car's got what it's got. Didn't happen this time, of course. You know, it is what it is. I can't talk about what it could have done and what it should have done. Next year, Koottamundra next year.
That's right.
With the track conditions looking perfect, the rest of the contenders then lined up. Next up, Anthony Matuk driving Shannon's Street King.
Turn it up, bro. Turn it up.
Let it run,
Turn it up.
9-0.
9-0. You know, the funny part is it's already quicker than anyone's ever been here before, bro.
With the record already reset, it was Rob's turn to attempt to go quicker in June 2 and run an 8-second pass.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
mate.
buddy. Appreciate it.
8.8 at 167. 1:57. You are
Awesome.
now the quickest and fastest car at Cootamundra. How you feeling?
Stoked, man. Thank you. That was awesome. Car felt good.
How the hell did it do it first pass, first go?
You know what? We've been testing for the last couple of months, man. Getting it set up, ready on the road. Yeah, no, it felt good. We're going to turn it up now.
With the record broken twice already, the pressure was on to see if Nick could go one better and make it 3 in a row.
Oh, you're going to love this. Rob went 8.873. Nick just went 8.872. Oh!
Where'd we go? What? Where'd we go?
86. Hey, congratulations. 8.872, 162.
Woo! Beautiful!
Do you know you beat Rob by 1,000th of a second?
That's all right, we've got more installed. We've got more installed. I'm going to go rub it in now.
That's the record, baby. That's the record.
Thank you.
My Duke's #1, boys. My Duke's #1. It's done.
With the record reset 3 times in a row, everyone was out to try and go quicker and faster again.
Jesus.
Nick's run wasn't any quicker, but the 167.29 miles per hour made him tied with Rob for the fastest speed. Rob wasn't able to go any quicker, but he did go faster, with a best of 168.53 miles per hour, making him the fastest GTR and a new outright speed record for Cootamundra. But that meant the winner of the 2016 Motorsports Mechanical GTR Challenge was Nick Klitzis in the Matooks Racing built R32.
Nick's R32 with Anthony Matook here as well. Where's Nick? Come on out, mate.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Here you go, guys.
Thank you, Anthony.
Let's take a look at the leaderboards now for this year's event. As you can see, the entire top 20 is now into the 10s. And to get into the top 10, you now need to be well and truly into the 9s. That means our new leaderboard for the GTR Challenge at Cootamundra now looks like this. Matooks Racing takes the #1 spot, as well as 3rd and 6th place in the top 10. Croydon Racing Developments moves into 2nd, and C&V Performance is pushed back into 4th place. Mercury Motorsport are still the quickest manual car at Cootamundra in 5th. Precision Automotive Racing have set the benchmark for R35s in 7th place. GTR Challenge sponsor Motorsport Mechanical move into 8th place, a huge effort for their first event. And Power Tune Australia with Glenn's R32 hold on to 9th place and still the H pattern record, while Dennis Resi holds out his spot in the top 10.
I will dedicate this to Anthony Matook, Insane in the Brain, and I Ain't Going Out Like That is also dedicated to Anthony Matook, and hopefully he doesn't want to get high. Cypress Hill's just got a lot of good stories, don't they? They do.
You killed it.
And there we have it. PPG, yo.
I remember you telling me that automatic GRs are good, but by the time they come on boost, you're going to be gone having coffee and stuff. So I found that a challenge. I go, I might as well build a car for Andrew. So I bought you a car.
I don't know.
2/3 of the way to the track, made a little pit stop to get some gas and potty break. He was just asking me if you're gonna throw the bottle in now so you can rematch. That was nasty.
When your pocket mates try something else, you're fast.
voice is loud enough. You're dead!
I love that guy.
G'day Australia, it's Frosty from WA here. No, I've got him.